Our panel Dr. Nilesh and Neera Kanjani from Agarwal Hospital, Ahmedabad, will join us and guide us on how we should relax and provide comfort to our eyes to avoid further damage to eyes. Let's welcome Dr. Nilesh and Neera.
Everybody. Good morning, everybody. I welcome you, behalf of IMS and Dr. Agarwal Eye Hospital, to this wonderful webinar, which is the need of the time at this digital uh, era of our life. As our host has rightly introduced, that COVID-19 has changed a lot of paradigm of our lifestyle and how we were used to study, how we were used to work, that in the offices, in the school, all those things has been changed in a big way. So we know that yes, we as a human race, we know how to thrive and how to survive, right? So we all know that how do we how to stay safe and survive in this era. So human race, as we all know, is the most adaptable race in this whole universe, right? So in this situation also, how do we adapt to the system? How do we make the bad of the good one, which you have as rightly said by our host, that every good thing comes with little bit bad. How do we convert that bad into our favor? That is how we all humans work for always. So today I am going to take you through the journey how to reduce the eye strain, whether it's the office goers thing or it's a kid thing. We have to work on that on all the fronts, for the kids, for the office goers, and for everybody. So here I would like to share my screen and start the presentation. So, what is the new era of the disease? Is the computer vision syndrome. We call it CVS, and in Western words, they call is video display devices related disease, right? So, how does that happen? What are the symptoms of that, and how do we overcome these shortcomings of the goodness? That is the thing where I will be taking you to the small journey of the presentation. So we all know that we all are parents, our kids are now have to thrive on the online education system, whether they are the toddler, whether they are into primary school, secondary school, higher secondary school, or they are college goers. So to ensure the safety, what do we do, and what all we can do for our kids so that their eyes remain protected, at the same time they don't lose their academic interest and their progress and their future. So most of the questions of the parents, will it harm for my kids if they go online for the classes? How do I help them to keep their eyes healthy? And how do I reduce the eye strain? So we'll be focusing on three main area of this. This will be applicable to kids and with some modification to the adults also. Now most of the kids are like at your home are usually very fan for the iPad, mobile devices and digital devices, because they are next generation kids and they would like to socialize, they would like to explore the world with these old devices. We cannot helped into this by just preventing them from they're reducing this curiosity level, and it is not right on our part. But how do we help them? That is the thing which we have to look for. So what I suggest as an eye doctor, and we all as an ophthalmologist suggest to the parents, that usually we have the small smartphones. If your kid is going for online classes, please make sure that screen of that smartphone is replaced with a bigger screen, either in the form of tablets or desktops or laptops or iPads. So that will help to reduce the eye strain by focusing into the very small areas of the screen. Then when they are online or in this applicable, this slide is applicable to adults also. This pandemic has affected everyone, and those people who were not working too much on the computer are forced to work on the computer because of the working from the home pattern adopted by majority of the companies. So whenever anybody who is working on the system should maintain their posture and level of the screen. What do we mean by that? So level of the screen should be 10 to 30 degree from the eye level. When it is at the above the eye level, what happens is that the aperture of the eye will be open very wide. So when we are looking at the screen, our normal blink rate reduces on its own. Usually we blink without our knowledge. It's an involuntary phenomenon. But when we are working on the laptop or any digital device, our blinking rate reduces again involuntarily. There is nothing like a voluntary stuff into this. So why does blinking help? The blinking helps to replenish the tear film in front of our eye, which supplies the oxygenation to our cornea from the environmental oxygen, keeping the eyes moist. That will be reduced. So our eyes will be deprived of the oxygen, eyes will be less moist. So by keeping the screen a little bit 10 to 30 degree below the eye level will reduce the opening of the aperture of the eye. When it reduces the evaporation, natural evaporation of the tears will be reduced. So that will reduce your natural tear evaporation. So even if the blinking rate is little bit reduced, it will not be of major problem. How do we handle other issues? Like we can ask the children, or when we are as an adult have increased our screen time, then we can do voluntarily blinking. Okay, so that will help to replenish the tear film nutrition to our eye. Then when our posture, when we are sitting on the any system, our posture should be comfortable enough so that it doesn't give us the pain in the back or neck or into shoulders or the hands. Because computer vision syndrome disease entity, patient presents with many times with the unknown headaches or unknown muscle pain. So at that juncture, we usually ask the patient that what is the usual posture when you work for your office or for your online classes if they are kids. So the posture is the most important. Your back should be supported, well supported with any type of the chair, but it should be well supported so that the back should not have any problem in the form of hunchback or all those things, which is usually common into pediatric patient. And the distance between screen and your eyes. For the kids, we usually recommend that it should be at least one hand distance. So at least it should be human hand. How does it extend? That much distance should be there. This is applicable to adults also. So this is the one schematic diagram. How do you have to maintain the posture as well as your screen. You can see that it is below the eye level. Screen is little bit tilted, and you can see that how the hands and shoulders are kept so that there is no undue muscle strain or pain. And you can see that how the back is supported with the proper support of the chair. And this is the table height. It should not be too high or too low. It should be, adequate height as per the person's stature. And if there are the adults who are sitting on the screen, then I will suggest that footrest will also help to reduce the strain on the leg muscles. Now, as I put forward this point, that usual blinking rate, in a 1 minute, we blink nearly 12 to 15 times. This happens involuntarily for all human beings. But when we are working on the laptop or screen, this blink rate on its own reduces because of our attention which mind is seeking and our working pattern. So for adults, we tell them that increase the voluntary blinking, and constant staring on the screen should be avoided. How to be avoided, I'll be covering into the next slide. But one thing is that for the kids, we can tell that blink your eyes voluntarily. So that what happens is that this replenishment of the tear film is very, very necessary and very, very important for our good eye health. Now, how do we help to take the breaks in between the sessions? So there is a rule of 20-20-20. What is it? So for the kids, when they have online classes, usually most of the schools are adapting to this pattern, that one session of online class is not more than 20 to 30 minutes, and they ask the kids to take a break of between 5 to 10 minutes in between. So when there is a break, how do we encourage our kid to utilize that break? Ask them to stretch their leg, stretch their hand, and take a small stroll in the your house itself. Second thing, whenever the kids are focusing on the screen for the longer time, their eye muscles go into one kind of the spasm, because they are not used to strain their eyes so much into their past, right? They are more used to outdoor activities. So when we ask our kids to take a break, make sure that when they take a stroll, they have to focus something very very far, which is at least 50 feet away, 15 to 20 feet away, for at least 20 seconds. So break it every 20 minutes. Take off your eye from the screen, look at something which is at least 20 feet away. Why 20 feet away? Because that relaxes the spasm, what we call accommodative spasm. Now this is a bit medical term, but to simplify it for our audience, what is the accommodative spasm? Accommodative spasm is the one where our near work is increased. The muscles will be going into the spasm, like how we have run the marathon, right? So to reduce this spasm, we have to focus on something which is very very distant, which is not on the near. So usually 20 feet away, if any tree is there, or any sort of, like, tall building which is opposite the house, which is very far, so ask them to focus that and see something outside of your window. Okay, right? So that will release the accommodative spasm, that will reduce the convergence stress, which is one of the most important problem in the kids. I'll be covering it in the next slide. And that will solve the problem of the headaches for the kids, because some children may develop headache at the end of the day, after they have finished their online classes, after they have finished their homework. So that all problem will be reduced with this rule of 20-20-20. So this is as far as the kids are concerned. So simple poem for the kids: stretch yourself 5 times, roll your head 5 times, roll your eyes 5 times. How do we roll the eye? There are certain yogic exercises for the eye called palming. Palming exercise involves the putting the eyes under the palm of your hand, closing the eyes and putting it over the eyeball like this and stretch back. Okay, I cannot demonstrate that clearly, but little bit whatever I can demonstrate, I am demonstrating. Remove the specs or whatever it is, if child is wearing, apply over the eye, close the eye, and under the eye, child rolls the, under that palms, child will roll the eye 5 times. There are certain cycles of it: up, down, upside rolling, downside rolling, right side rolling, left side rolling, clockwise rolling, anti-clockwise rolling. Okay, so this will give the muscle a little bit stretch, eye muscle stretch, and that will reduce the eye muscle spasm. Roll your wrist. Why to roll the wrist is because the muscles of the hand and leg also go into the spasm because of the constant work into the system. This is applicable to adults also, because being adults, we are also typing also same time. Supposedly, if bank workers are there, they have this problem, even whether COVID or non-COVID, because they will be continuously typing. The wrist muscles go into spasm, their hand, small joints of the hand go into the spasm. So to avoid that, the muscle has to be, the small joint muscle of the hand has to be also stretched and given a sort of small exercise. Look outside the window. Already I emphasized that we have to look something which is very very far, and count 5 objects you see. Now this is applicable to the kids. Supposedly when we ask them to look outside, they may not understand. So you can ask them, okay, count what all 5 objects you see outside. So they will count like one building, one tree, something like that, right? Then good hydration. Take 5 sips of water. So this helps even adults because most of us are usually sitting into the air conditioned environment. We really do not know our hydration levels, and hydration levels, keeping good hydration levels with the good vitamins and all those things will always boost our immunity and our throat immunity to fight against this throat infection and viral infection. So this also is one of the good habit which we can put into our routine. Now, coming to the kids again, they have to jump 5 times. Jumping 5 times will relieve the stress on their leg muscles and will reduce the problems with the muscle strain. And then we can tell, okay, your teacher is back and please run back to your class. So this is a simple formula for adults as well as kids for reducing the eye strain and muscle strains related with the prolonged computer work. Now, what should be the brightness setting? Now, usually so many myths about the computer screen are there. And somebody will say it will generate the infrared light. Somebody will say it will generate the violet radiation. Somebody will tell it will generate the harmful radiation. So definitely there are some light is always generated from the screen. There is no scientific evidence that it is a carcinogenic or it leads to cancer or anything like that. Or for women, there was one study when the America entered into the era of the computer in 80s and 90s, that they have the bad effect on the reproductive system or something. So these are all myths which has not to be considered at all. Why the brightness of the screen affect us is that because when it is too bright, it gives a glaring to the child. So or it to even adult. Okay, so too bright screen has to be avoided. We have to adjust the brightness as per the comfort level of the kid, and comfort level you have to adjust with the lighting system of your home or room where the kids are studying or adults are working. So supposedly if the room is very lit and there is too much glaring in the room itself, I suggest that the glaring from the room light can also give the eye strain. So room light also has to be adjusted as per the comfort level, and according to room light, the brightness of the screen, computer screen, also has to be adjusted. Do not encourage your kid to use any type of the video display devices in darkness. Why? Because the glare of the screen will be more, and in the darkness, usually our circadian rhythm of the body will send the message to the brain that it is a relaxation time. So when there is a darkness or when there is a night lamp in the room, there will be signals which will be going to the brain from that low light condition that this is the time when the whole body will be relaxing. And at the same time, if we are making our eyes too strained, whereas all the other body muscles and system is relaxing, so it is not good part from us to make one organ of the body to work very hard. Supposedly, if there is a need of the nighttime work, this is a tip for the IT workers also, that if there is any need for the nighttime work, please do not turn off the light of the room and sit in your bedroom and continue to work on the system. Or your spouse is sleeping and you don't want to disturb them and you continue work on the screen, please do not do that. Please go with your device to the another room and continue your work if that has to be done. For the kids, absolutely no. At the night time when all the lights are off and continue on the screen, it is absolutely no. If it has to be done, even for the kids, those who are preparing for the competitive exam or anything like that, then I suggest that they have to shift to the room where there is adequate light condition, adequate room condition, and adequate atmosphere so that eye doesn't get into the strain. Again, this point I have covered, that when there is a too dim light, we have to ask the child to turn on the light and work on the screen so that they need not to peer on the screen and strain their eye. Now coming to the biggest problem, that is myopia pandemic. Okay, so how do we handle that? Sorry. So what happens is that most of the kids are having spectacle issues nowadays. there is an increase in the incidence of the myopia in the recent generation as a part of the human evolution as well as our lifestyle. Most of the children are having spectacle in their primary schools, almost 80 to 90%. So what we call in our medical term is a myopic pandemic. So what all myopia, what we were used to see in 70s or 80s or 90s, compared to that, supposedly the whole class of the kids are there. Out of there, hardly 40 to 50% will be wearing the spectacle, which is now coming to almost 80% into certain country. In India, still we are able to, having almost 60 to 70% kids having some or other type of the spectacle into their school time. So if the child is having spectacle power, I suggest that child has to wear the spectacle when they work in front of the computer. There are certain spectacle with the coating where there is reduced eye strain with those spectacles. Usually the ophthalmologist which are prescribing those spectacle will be able to guide you for that. And anti-refractive coating is the one of the coating which is covering the spectacles lenses, which will reduce the harmful light, blue light coming from the LED devices. That is one of the coating which is normally used by the almost all the spectacle manufacturing companies. This type of the glasses even was advised to the people who are working on the call center, where they have to work for 18 to 19 hours sometimes into LED devices. So these are the spectacles which are usually recommended for the people who are not even having any glass power but have to work 18 19 hours. This is not applicable to plain glasses, as such are not applicable to kids. But if they have the glass power, I suggest the parents that we can give some coating so that they can be comfortable on the screen. If your child complains of any kind of poor vision, if you see that they are going close to the screen of your TV, home TV or something, in that case immediately consult the ophthalmologist to see whether they are developing any myopic or any refractive error in the eye. If the child squints, that shows that they are having problem into focusing when they are working on these devices. So if the child squints, we have to rule out eye strain and we have to rule out the refractive error. In both the condition, it has to be seen by the ophthalmologist. Sometimes the squinting can be just cleared by some simple exercises of the eye. So it is not always a very, very serious note, but yes, an ophthalmologist should be seen if the child is squinting or deviating their eyes. Other point not to be overlooked is the diet supplement. Diet very rich into vitamin A, C, E is very, very necessary. This not only helps the good eye health, but even our immunity towards the immunity towards the viral diseases and all those things. And for the kids and for the adults who have now gone to the more screen time because of their professional requirement or educational requirement, we suggest as an ophthalmologist to reduce the other screen time. Even before COVID also we were used to work on the laptop. Even before COVID also we were used to see our mobile for entertainment purpose or for gaming purpose. Please discourage the children for those gaming purpose time in the view of increased screen time of their educational demands. Okay, so this has to be emphasis to the children with the proper counseling and all those things. Outdoor games right now it's sometimes not possible into this era, but yes, you can, being a parents, you can encourage some indoor games into their relaxed time so that they are not barging on those games and increasing their eye strain level. Regular physical activities, this is applicable to kids who are grown up in the form of yoga and aerobics, and to adults also. Definitely sleep for 8 to 9 hours is very, very essential. Sound sleep for the good eye health and good mental health and good physical health. So these are the certain things which is the pictorial things to treat to explain the kids and adults who are suffering from the eye strain or other types of the problems. Now, in between, I would like to ask one question to the audience, that how frequently you go to the eye care specialist. We are here talking about the COVID time. So how frequently do you get your eye tested? I would like to have the opinion. Okay. So, so here we have the audience poll, which says that nearly every 2 yearly, 40% of the people do get their eye tested, and 30% of the people, they get their eye tested every yearly, and 20% of the people every half yearly, and 10% of people every 1.5 yearly. So here I will suggest that in this era of pandemic, we should get our eyes tested at least every 6 monthly. This is applicable to children and adults. Now, supposedly, those kids who are already wearing the spectacles and are under the care of the ophthalmologist, those kids, usually we being ophthalmologists, we were for kids, we were always encouraging the examination every yearly. But in this era where the eye strain problem or eye muscle problems are more rampant, I suggest that every 6 monthly the eye should be checked, as children as well as adults. If any symptom of the eye strain or what all we narrated in our presentation comes, in that case we have to do it even immediately. Okay. So that is as far as the testing of the eye is concerned. If patient is diabetic, so you know that our parents and our elderly population is also now forced to go to the digital thing, whether they like it or don't like it. Because one thing is that for them above 60 years, even as a doctor, we don't recommend them to go out in this pandemic era without any purpose. Okay, so by and large, they have to be confined to the home. They do their exercise, they do their yoga, they do their meditation, but that is not enough. They socialize with their friend with the online meetings. They, we all know that our parents do socialize with their friends, which is necessary for them, or with online meetings. So if they develop any type of these problems, like they develop eye strain or anything, what should be the usual tips for them? Because this webinar session, we will not be just keeping it to the kids and the working class of the India, but we have to see that our parents, our elderly population is also having the healthy eyes. So if they are diabetic, they have to keep their sugars well into control. They have to keep their hydration level well into control. The rule of 20-20-20 is also applicable to them whenever they are having the streaming, online streaming of the movie. They also have to take a break, and they also have to blink their eyes and keep their hydration level, right? So this is the certain tips for them. And usually the elderly population, especially elderly women, are having more tendency towards the dryness. So in this case, what do? They can apply some cold towel over the eyes when at the time of the evening, cold compress over the eyes in the form of normally cold towel or cold dry ice type of the thing, that will give the soothing to the eye. There are certain artificial tears and substitutes are available which will soothe the eye. So for the adult population, uh, for the adult population, we have the certain generations of the eye drops which will be useful for them for the routine cleansing purpose as well for the routine soothing purpose, which they can have over the counter on the any medical shop. They need not to go to ophthalmologist. And those type of the lubricating drops, we call it carboxymethyl cellulose drops, which is not having any side effects, can be used to when there is a tiredness in the eye. So there are certain questions also, we will take it here. Okay, my slides are not going forward here. So we can take certain questions here. So one of the question is regarding the position. Position of mobile screen or any type of the screen. So what we suggest is that our screen should be. I would definitely love to have that slide of this thing screen slide so that we can again revise our presentation. It should be 20 to 30 degree below our eye level. Okay, so that was the animation which I showed in my presentation, so that our tears, which usually evaporate naturally, should have the less evaporation, and the dryness related with the computer screen will be less. So this is the position. This is applicable to even to mobile screen. Supposedly if we have to look at the mobile during our office hours, or when we are having the online streaming or web series we are seeing, in that case also the same type of the rule is applicable. It should be 20 degree 20 to 30 degree below the eye level. Why it is? Because the eyeball aperture will be little bit reduced by doing this. The surface area of the eye exposed to the environment will be reduced. That will reduce the evaporation of the tear, because our upper lid of the eyes will be covering our eyeball aperture, so that there will be reduced evaporation of the tear. So there is less chance of the dryness of the eye to get induced. Second thing, when you are having the live streaming of the movie or web series on the mobile, please do not do into lying down position. When you are lying down, please do not do. If you want to see the mobile screen or something for half an hour or something for the entertainment purpose, when you are almost going to go to bed, at that time also I'll suggest that take a support of the headboard of the bed, keep the mobile on some pillow or something almost 20 to 30 degree down, and then have the streaming done. Okay, and once it is over, switch off the light and go to sleep. So this will be my piece of the advice to those people who have the habit of having watching movie during their sleep time. Any other questions? We would love to have it. I am just looking at the chat box over here, so we can answer the questions of the audience. We have certain questions. Let me go through that. So one of the questions which already has been asked by Mr. Mahesh, that while using mobile, what should be the ideal position? And that is already I have answered. And how to take care of your eyes on daily basis? What is the practice that we should follow? So how to take care of your eyes is like usually try to blink more, try to take more breaks while you work on the digital platforms, and try to take a stroll after 20 minutes of the work. Try to focus something which is very very far far from the your home environment, usually 20 feet away. So that will reduce the stress on the muscles of the eye. And other piece of the advice for reducing the stress on the eye is the take the good nutritious food like greens and citrus food, which will have the more and more nutritive values for the eye health. So that is the routine thing. If your eye feel tired at the evening time, you can apply some cold compresses when you are relaxing, so that will reduce the stress of the eye. Then if you develop any type of the headache during the work, then again for the another question by Mr. Yash Shah, is that how to reduce the eye burning and headache. So the headache will be reduced by taking the 20 minutes break, as I suggested. That will reduce the muscle spasm and headache associated with that. And how to reduce the eye burning? Eye burning we can reduce by frequently blinking our eyes, and by taking seeing the far off thing. Then another question is about the vision issues, and there is a myth of the fact that eyesight can be regained naturally by some exercise and all those things. Yes, eyesight, which is which use which you feel that you have the blurring of the vision or anything, it cannot be regained naturally. You need to check with the doctor that what is the reason of that reduce in the eyesight. One thing, if there is a low power number, yes, sometimes you need not to wear the spectacle for low power number, like 0.5 or 0.25 or something. By doing real some yogic exercise, yogic eye exercise, you can avoid those glasses. But if there is a high refractive error, then we have to look for the glasses only. Yes, we can modify the glasses as per the need of the person by giving some extra coating or something on the glasses to reduce the eye strain while wearing those glasses. So another question is that, is it good for the small kids to sit in front of the screen for a long time? For the kids right now, for their educational requirement and their professional requirement, they have to opt for this platform of the education only. But yes, we can assure them good eyesight in the future once the COVID is over by taking some precautions, like giving them the 20 minutes break, encouraging them to do the exercise as I suggested, palming exercise and rolling of the eyes at the 20 minutes interval, frequent blinking of the eyes, taking the nutritious food. Do not strain the eye into the other sort of the screen requirements, like playing the games and seeing the videos on the some of the platforms, like digital platforms and all those things for the entertainment purpose. Yes, we can reduce that screen time for their education purpose screen time, because we cannot avoid that at this juncture of the time. But yes, we can assure their good high health by taking these precautions which we already discussed in the presentation. If your child is complaining of any sort of blurring vision or something, then take them to the ophthalmologist immediately to see whether they are developing myopia or not, right? Does long hours on mobile cause the eye issues? Yes, long hours on any screen like mobile, iPad or computer will create an eye issues. Smaller screen will create a more issue compared to the bigger screen. So long hours of the working on the mobile has to be discouraged. You can keep how you can track your screen time. You can keep track on the screen time, which usually most of the devices are offering nowadays. And um, so you can track the screen time, one thing. Second thing is that when the long hour of the screen time is required for the professional or for the education ground, then in between taking the breaks, frequent blinking, taking the proper precaution of your refractive error. Supposedly anybody is having eyeglass power and they don't usually use the eyeglasses, but they have to work for the longer hours, then we suggest that they use the eyeglasses while working in front of the systems or computer or mobile. So with this little tips, by blinking the eyes, taking the breaks, that will not create any eye issues. But if we don't take care of the eye strain associated with that and still keep working, then we have to then it definitely creates a problem. Since everything is being done online these days, leading to high screen time, how is this going to affect the eyes? That is another question. Uh, uh, Considering my experience, usually working on the computer screen or any mobile devices, it is not that harmful or create a permanent damage in the eye. But if we overdo and do not give a rest to the eye in between, do not supplement ourselves, then it gives the permanent damage in the form of the persistent dryness, which requires a continuous treatment with the ophthalmologist or induction of the refractive error for the kids. But as such, by opting for the screen devices for your professional or for your academic reasons, it doesn't permanently damage the eye, provided that we take care and we do it judiciously. What are the colors we use, see, to cut down to eye strain? And can we stick that particular color paper at our home wall? Usually, there is no particular criteria that what should be the color of the house wall or anything, but there is definitely agreement between the eye care specialists that the blue light entering the eyes, which is generated through the almost all LED devices, if that is cut to the best extent, will be the helpful. So most of the devices are usually now with that screen protectors and anti-reflective coating glasses and all those things are there. So in that, if we reduce the brightness of the screen, that will solve the problem. Now, another question is that is it harmful to wash the eyes with warm water? Washing of the eyes by directly splashing the water inside the eyes is anytime not a good practice. The reason being that by directly splashing in the open eye the water, we disturb the tear film, which is usually God given protective mechanism for the eye. Let us all understand that this is the only important organ of our body which is directly exposed to our environment. Heart, kidney, liver, all brain, all are under the cover of the bones, under the cover of the muscles, under the cover of the skin. This is the only most important organ of the eye which is exposed to the environment and the all the harmful, whether you call it a pollution or whether you call it a infectious load of the environment, right? So God has given us a tear film in front of the our eye which has the antibacterial property. It has got the coating, it has got the three coating. The front coating doesn't allow usually any viruses or any bacteria to enter inside the eye directly. So this coating and tear film gets disturbed by directly splashing the water. You can wash your eye by closing the eyeball aperture. Now, which type of the water to be used, whether warm water or cold water, that can be the person's and patient's requirement and eye condition. I suggest that for the computer workers, like, who are working for 10, 11 hours, like bank workers, all those people, I suggest them that put some cold towel over the eye once you get back to home. So that gives the soothing effect to the eye and doesn't harm the tear film. If you really want to wash the eye, if there is a very harsh summer season and you have too much dust on the face, then I suggest that wash in and around the eye with some sort of mild soap, so that even if the soap enters inside the eye, it doesn't create any trouble to the tear film. And outside the eye, we can clean it very well so that any dirt, particle, or anything which is accumulated near the eyelashes is getting washed. This tip of the advice holds good for the kids also, those who come from the ground after playing cricket or football or anything. So that will reduce the dirt level around the eye, and that will reduce the allergy problem which we see very frequently nowadays for the kids. So washing of the eye, yes, it's a good habit. 2 to 3 times in and around the eyes, if somebody is washing, it's a good habit. Warm water or cold water is the patient's requirement and eye requirement. And splashing of the water, whether warm or cold, whether drinking or tap water, is at any time not very much recommended. So this is the questions. There are some of the other questions. Let me just pass through that. One question is about the mental stress of the profession and COVID both. So I will suggest that to reduce the mental stress, first we have to reduce the physical stress and eye stress also, because like what stress we usually get, what we see, what we think, that gives us the stress. So I'll suggest that supposedly there is a eye strain, first we should treat that, followed by a little practice of the meditation for at least 15 minutes, at least 15 minutes with the two breaks, total 30 minutes will always help to keep the stress level less. Then okay, the question regarding the blue light already has been answered. Okay, almost most of the questions are answered here. Okay, if there is certain number in both eyes, is the eye LASIK operation is revisable, or we use to stick to the spectacle? Okay, so LASIK as such gives the dryness. Any type of the LASIK, whether we do the femto LASIK or blade LASIK or whatever type of the LASIK, it leads to little bit dryness. Now there is no relation that during the LASIK we by doing the LASIK we increase the eye stress or strain. So whether LASIK done or whether you use the spectacle, the tips for the reducing the eye stress or strain in front of the digital devices remains the same. Whether the LASIK done eye, whether LASIK not done eye, whether somebody is wearing the spectacle or not wearing the spectacle and you're in the contact lens. Yes, there are certain tips for the contact lens users, that contact lens users are more prone to eye infections. So if they stress their eyes in front of the computer more and more, their tendency to get infected is more. So for contact lens users, if they feel that eyes are getting very much stress after working for long hours on the system, I suggest that they take more breaks, contact lens free breaks in front of the system. Means they can switch to the spectacles in between if the contact lens is giving trouble them because of the long time work on the computer. But as far as the LASIK is concerned, yes, it's a person's choice, can do LASIK or continue with the specs. There is no relation as far as the digital strain is concerned. Yeah, one more question is there. Would it be safe to use the normal eye drops available at the counter? So these are the drops, as I already discussed. These are the drops are the usual cleansing drops, or we call it a lubricating drop, right? So lubricating drops are the one which anybody can use, starting from the kids to the elderly population. So these are the over-the-counter available drop. In the name, lot of companies are manufacturing Indian, international, so that can be safe. But you should not take any over-the-counter antibiotic drop or steroid drop, because most of the eye drops will be containing mild form or higher form of the steroids. And as we all know that steroids use should be very, very judicious as far as our body is concerned. So any drop which you buy from the over-the-counter from the pharmacy, usually make sure that it doesn't contain the steroid. Usually most of the eye drops which contain steroid will have the warning on that, so you can easily read that. But yes, any type of the lubricating drop which is available in the market can be used for either washing of the eye or for the soothing of the eye or anything like that sort. So one question regarding contact lens is also there, which I already emphasized that contact lens, if person is wearing and there is more and more strain in the eye, I suggest that there should be certain time. Supposedly if you have to work because of your professional requirement for 8 hours, say for example in front of the screen, in that case I suggest that in that case at least have some few hours of the screen time without contact lens. That will give more comfort level to the eye. Why? Because contact lens reduces the oxygen penetration in the eye. There are certain contact lenses which is having the high oxygen penetration, but at any time it disturbs the tear film as well as reduces the illumination of the cornea. So what we suggest is that more and more time of the contact lens free time in front of the system is recommended if the eye gives the problem with the contact lens for 8 hours and with the continuous work on the system for 8 hours or on the digital screen for 8 hours. Then one more question is there, is it necessary to wear eyeglasses always? Okay, yeah, if you have the refractive error and if you have the glasses prescribed by the doctor, I suggest that wear that glass in front of the computer when you use. That will help two ways. One is that it will reduce your eye strain. You need not to squeeze your eye to focus in front of the computer, and it will give you the soothing effect if the spectacle lenses are ARC coated. So yes, if you have a refractive error, you should use the spectacles prescribed by the ophthalmologist in front of the system. Supposedly, if very less power is that, most of the ophthalmologists like me will tell that most of the time when you are not doing visually demanding tasks, if you don't want to wear spectacles, it's fine. But when you are doing the work on the laptop or mobile or on the computer screen, any type of the screen for long hours, please opt for wearing the glasses. Okay, so that is one question.
Thanks, Dr. Neera, for lovely presentation and very precise explanation.
Thank you. And I wish all the audience good day and happy weekend.
We have a lovely audience today. Thanks for joining us on this platform. Hope you enjoyed today's session. If you have any feedback or any question unanswered, you can write us on the addresses displayed on the screen. We would be happy to interact with you. On this note, we will call it end of the session, and we will soon come back with new topic of wellness that impacts our precious life. Thank you all. Thank you for joining.